The International Space Station, ISS, is a multi-nation construction project that is the largest single structure humans ever put into space. Its main construction was completed between 1998 and 2011, although the station continually evolves to include new missions and experiments. It has been continuously occupied since November 2, 2000. The ISS is not owned by one single nation and is a cooperative program between Europe, the United States, Russia, Canada, and Japan, according to the European Space Agency, ESA. The International Space Station costs about $3 billion per year for NASA to operate, roughly a third of the human spaceflight budget, according to the agency's Office of the Inspector General. As of May 2022, 258 individuals from 20 countries have visited the International Space Station. The top participating countries include the United States, 158 people, and Russia, 54 people. Astronaut time and research time on the space station are allocated to space agencies according to how much money or resources, such as modules or robotics, they contribute. The ISS includes contributions from 15 nations. NASA, United States, Roscosmos, Russia, and the European Space Agency are the major partners of the space station and contribute most of the funding. The other partners are the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency and the Canadian Space Agency. Through a private company called Axiom Space, private astronauts are starting to work on the orbiting complex from time to time. Additionally, astronauts from other nations, such as the United Arab Emirates, do fly occasionally to the ISS. The International Space Station is 356 feet, 109 meters, end-to-end, with a mass of 925,335 pounds, 419,125 kilograms, without visiting vehicles. The solar panels alone cover 1 acre. There is 13,696 cubic feet of habitable volume for crew members, not including visiting vehicles. The space station has 7 sleeping quarters, with the ability to add more during crew handover periods, 2 bathrooms, a gym, and the cupola, a 360-degree view bay window of the Earth. The space station orbits Earth at an altitude of approximately 250 miles, 402 kilometers, with its orbital path taking it over 90% of the Earth's population. Thanks to the size of its solar panels, it can be seen with the naked eye at dusk or dawn when flying over a local area. You can track the space station's path near you at spotthestation.nasa.gov. The International Space Station orbits Earth at an average altitude of 248 miles, 400 kilometers. The ISS circles Earth every 90 minutes at a speed of about 17,500 mach/m, 28,000 km/h. In one day, the station travels about the distance it would take to go from Earth to the Moon and back. There is typically an international crew of 7 people that live and work inside the ISS. However, during the changeover of crew members, this number can vary. For example, in 2009, 13 crew members visited the ISS. This is also the record for the most people in space at one time. Occasionally, private missions such as those from Axiom Space bring non-professional astronauts on board the space station too. Typically, astronauts travel to the space station via SpaceX's Crew Dragon capsule, or, in the case of Russian cosmonauts, a Russian Soyuz capsule. The Soyuz was the primary form of transportation for all astronauts and cosmonauts after NASA's Space Shuttle program retired in 2011. Crew Dragon began flying people starting with the Demo 2 mission that launched on May 30, 2020. Boeing's Starliner is preparing for launching humans after its successful Uncrewed Orbital Flight Test 2, OFT-2, in 2022. Once at the station, astronauts will typically spend a mission period of around 6 months conducting various science experiments and maintaining and repairing the ISS. Outside of work, astronauts will spend at least 2 hours on exercise and personal care. They also occasionally perform spacewalks, conduct media school events for outreach, and post updates to social media. The first astronaut to tweet from space was Mike Massimino, who did it from a space shuttle in May 2009. Bedrooms in the ISS typically include small bunk beds. The astronauts tether themselves to a wall or allow themselves to freely float in the small space, depending on their preference. Crews temporarily visiting for just a few days may sleep in their spaceship or in a spare spot on the station, which is allowed as long as they tether themselves in space. The ISS is a platform for long-term research for human health, which NASA bills as a key stepping stone to letting humans explore other solar system destinations such as the Moon or Mars.